Before we get started, a quick word from our sponsor, Community Financial's President CEO Tansley Stern podcast, Despite Impossible. Now on to the show. Studio Lounge interviews at Emerge, brought to you by Eltropy. Hey everybody, Mike Lawson here with CU Broadcast. Welcome back to our continued coverage of Eltropy's Emerge conference here in beautiful San Francisco, California. And in the Studio Lounge we have Cobalt Credit Union's very own Chasmine McIntosh. McIntosh?
Yes.
You were in the right town for Macintosh. I'm an
know.
Apple fan, so...
Yeah, too bad it's spelled the wrong way.
That's true.
Right?
That is true.
So,
yeah. But anyway, well, the thought was there.
Maybe someone will tell me otherwise.
You're all fine. So, okay, you're with Cobalt Credit Union, and what brings you to Emerge this year? Just obviously, the subject matter, and you guys have been clients with them for a little while. You started out with Pop.io, I heard.
Correct.
Right? You want to give us a quick little history lesson here before we dive into the topic?
Yeah, absolutely. So I oversee digital banking. I'm the VP of Digital at Cobalt Credit Union, so really oversee the strategy of all of our digital innovation there. Eltropy is a big part of that, naturally, as we bring forward conversational intelligence, as we bring forward ways to engage with our members, no matter where they're at in the world, 24/7, 365. We originally started as a Pop.io client, you're right. Several moons ago at this point, with video banking really took off. We're rooted in military presence, so when I say around the world, I truly...
You are not kidding.
Yeah, we have people that have worked with us for years since we were SAC Federal Credit Union, and we wanted to make sure that no matter where they were stationed, no matter where their journey took them, we were able to serve them. And so video banking really brought that to life, and we got ahead of the curve before COVID and all of those pieces, which made it so much more vital, right, in our day-to-day today. And since then, Eltropy has acquired Pop.io as well as several others, and we've just continued that relationship. So now we do chat, we do text, obviously video banking. We have stood up our AI agent, so COBE speaks with our members.
Oh, is that your bot, I guess, so to speak? So everyone has a name for their bots, so yeah.
COBE from Cobalt.
I like that.
So he gets rave reviews and is able to handle a lot. Right now we have an 83% session containment rate. So we've really worked closely with Eltropy and creating what that bot should do prior to that handoff, if the handoff's ever needed, to that agent. And then we're currently testing and working on our AI voice project, and we're one of the first DNA clients that's working with Eltropy to make that happen.
Wow,
so
very cool.
Yeah, lots
you guys are pushing that proverbial envelope big time. So good on you. So I'm going to go back to video banking real quickly here, and then we'll progress through your steps here. What was it about video banking that really kind of attracted your attention, and then how has it benefited you guys since then? Because obviously, like you said before, you guys are global. I mean, you're handling the military stuff on a worldly basis, so to speak. So share with me that quick story there, if you will.
Yeah, I think, initially it was something that caught our credit union's eye as, that's really cool, we should do that. And it was simple as that in a very infancy phase. As we've progressed, though, it's become our market differentiator. We're one of the only community credit union FIs, and we're able to compete with some of the bigger institutions. I came from a big top 5 bank, and when I came over to Cobalt, I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I had this technology. I did. I remember just the friction that some of our employees had felt, and I was working at a big 5 company and bank, and so being able to have that technology and facilitate it in a way to spread our vision, it's just been a game changer because we can say yes more than we say no. And that's what our members need, right?
So far, this is my biggest takeaway of this conversation is that, this Cobalt is beating the big bank at this pretty cool piece of technology, right? So you guys are able to, kind of move on a dime with this type of stuff, whereas a bigger bank might not be so fast. So that's a really good lesson for a lot of credit unions out there watching. Like, you guys can do that. You can compete using this really cool technology. So that's my biggest takeaway so far.
Yeah, it really allows you to pivot much quicker, right? And I think everybody's probably similar to us, but we run a million projects at once, and we want to give our members everything and more. And so because of that, we have to have the back-end technology to be able to say, yeah, we're going to do that merger, or we're going to take on that project, and it'll be okay. And our employees know that because we'll be able to service our members start to finish, and they'll have the tools they need at their fingertips to get it done.
Yeah, very cool. All right, let's leapfrog to COBE. So when did COBE get implemented, and share with me some of the benefits that you guys have experienced so far?
Yeah, so we were a little crazy, and we ended up implementing COBE, I call it 1.0, so like an intent-based AI, at the same time that we went live on a new digital banking platform, and that was August 2024.
Okay, so very recent, yeah?
Yes. And we did that intentionally to help with that overflow. It made everything seamless, if you will, because our members had different ways to engage with us and ask questions. So our digital banking conversion was beautiful. We didn't need additional support. Our contact center obviously saw increased volumes, but they were very, very manageable. So then forward to about October, we put generative AI in. And that way, we kind of took that baby walk, crawl, run approach that they talk about. So our members had gotten used to the intent-based, okay, this is specific for digital banking. This is our new platform. COBE can help you with all things digital. So then they got used to that. Then we put generative AI in front of it and said, okay, now I can be your agent to help you with more simple tasks. Tell me more about how else I can help you. And just kind of started layering that on intentionally, because we do have a membership that we're in Nebraska. We don't love change. And so by layering it, we kind of built that trust up front. So now they use COBE so much more because they can trust it, because they know they've used it in the past. It helped me then. Let's try it again. It's okay, I can always transfer to an agent, and I know that now. So having that kind of layered approach has been really successful. So we've been live with COBE 2.0 since October 2024.
Right on. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. And it sounds like this has been kind of a gradual, I guess, launch, if you will, of this type of, and because it's generative AI, which means it's going to be learning, it's only going to get better. Can you share with me maybe some future, what do you guys foresee in the future with this type of stuff? Because it sounds like sky's the limit with this.
Yeah, well, they've been hitting on it in the conference already, but personalization is so important, really. In my seat, I think about all of the ways our members like to engage with us, and I'm not going to tell them the right way to engage with us. That's up to the consumer. But I will say, I want to make sure that it's consistent. I want to make sure that is the best experience that they could ever hope for. And so because of that, we're really focusing on that data cleansing that they've been talking about. Garbage in, garbage out. You hear that concept a lot. And we want to make sure that the data coming in, because they are from all these different vendors potentially, is cleansed and prioritized appropriately. So no matter how our member chooses to engage with us, whether that's through COBE, whether that's through an agent, a branch, through our online banking provider, that they're receiving consistent information, consistent education, and they're not conflicting with each other, because that's the worst thing you could do, right? Is I log into online banking and get one recommendation, and I call my banker and get a different one. We want to make sure that we're all speaking the same language and providing that same message. So that's what we're really focused on. Lots of conversation around how our members like to learn as well. We're very invested in our community. So, with all the data that comes out around people choosing to learn off of a TikTok video rather than speak to a person now, how do we integrate that into our AI agent, so instead of it telling someone, maybe it points it to a video or provides a dialogue along with that kinesthetic learning experience? How do you mash that together so that they truly receive the learning style and the experience that they want from a personalized approach?
How much fun is your job?
I love it. Yeah, it's so fun.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah, it is so fun. It allows you to bring forward a lot of really amazing ideas, and kudos to my team at Cobalt and all of the groups that I work with. I work with a very collaborative group because digital touches everything. So no matter what crazy idea we put out there, we have a whole team that's like, figure out how to make that happen, and let's pivot, and let's,
Well, my last question to you, I want to give Eltropy a big plug here, but I mean, what have they allowed you guys to do? I mean, obviously, in the technologies and the communications, I mean, being able to have that omni-channel communication, if you will, I mean, what have they allowed you guys to do? Because it sounds like it's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things with working with Eltropy, there's a lot of different platforms out there you can choose from.
For sure.
And I am so glad that we choose day over day to work with Eltropy, and that's because of the relationships they build. You can hear from any of their team members that they put people first, and it comes through in their partnership. And so working so closely with them on our products, we have product owners, we have engineers on our calls weekly, bi-weekly working sessions so that we can create exactly what Cobalt needs. And you don't get that everywhere.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of times people will sell you a boxed product and they say, yeah, you can do all these things. You go do that.
Yeah.
And sure.
And then you never hear from them again.
Right, that's not the approach Eltropy takes. And so it's been really nice to work with them as trusted partners. That was one of the big pieces in our RFP was partnership. We wanted to make sure that we had someone that we could grow with, that we also knew was innovating and growing themselves, so that we could work alongside each other.
Oh, great message. All right, anything else to add here before unleash you onto the rest of the conference here, Jasmine? Any final thoughts here?
I don't think so. Just thank you so much for the time, and thank you to Eltropy and Ashish and all of the team members for always putting us first.
Indeed. Well done. Keep up the good work there, Cobalt, and let's keep tabs, because I really enjoyed talking to various credit unions and their journeys in this area, because it's never going to end. It's just going to progress. So yeah.
Just at the beginning.
Keep up the good work there, Jasmine. Well done.
Thanks.
Good job.
Studio Lounge interviews at Emerge, brought to you by Eltropy. A quick word from our sponsor, Community Financial's present CEO, Tansley Stern's new podcast, Despite Impossible.